great day to be an Eagle. One more time for the greatest team in
All right, Eagle Nation. Well, week 2 went about as well as we thought it would. Georgia Southern 0-2 on the young season, 59-20 your final in Southern California against the USC Trojans. Cody, I mean, yeah, I don't know. There is a lot to talk about, actually. But correct me if I'm wrong. Is there?
I mean, I just think there's a lot of areas of growth, Matt. I think the kids had a great time in California. You know, we really had a great bonding experience.
Cody, they got to have in and out.
We got some in and out. You know, we got some kids experience a plane ride for the very first time.
Got to see the beach.
You know, we'll be happy
Pacific
to get back home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll be happy to get back home and sleep in our own beds.
The theme of the week
get back to Paulson, experience that power of Paulson.
That's right.
You know, but we got a lot of areas of growth, Matt. There's a lot of areas of growth.
A lot of areas of growth. The theme of the week from the 42 to what 14.
14.
Week 1 loss at Fresno State was growth between week 1 and week 2. We were just briefly chatting about it because we are recording this the night of the game, which we didn't do for the Fresno State game.
No.
So this might be a bit more lively conversation than that was. But equally depressing, probably. So, yeah, Cody, I like we were debating. You said of all 3 phases, maybe special teams took the biggest turn. They looked the best from week 1 to week 2. I argued, I thought offense looked decent, not great. I'd give them like a solid C, maybe C minus. But
I think for the players executing what has been called, I think you can say yes. I think play calling is still just completely terrible.
It is. It's inconsistent is the best way to describe it. Because like at times it's like, this is great. These are great.
I guess what I don't understand is not just the play calls, but some of the play designs. Like, why do you have a wide receiver screen pass that sets up 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage?
Yeah.
Why? What's the point
or even
of that?
slants we had slants, we had outs, we had several third and longs or third and manageables even.
Yeah.
Where we threw the ball and the catch was 2-3 yards behind the line to gain.
Yeah.
That's I've never understood that. We're not the only team that does it. I've seen it across the board,
and some of that could be the receiver error too, right? Like they cut too short, they make the break too short. It's not necessarily the play call itself. There is some of that element into it as well. But no, I think it's just again part of the frustration. As a fan, you don't know, right? You don't know if that's how the play is designed. You don't know if it's a execution on the player's part. But there are some things in which I look at, I'm like, who the hell would even design a play where the screen pass is 6-7 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and you just feel like you're setting yourself up for failure? Like you're setting yourself up behind the 8 ball when it's tough enough to get 10 yards already. Like, what's the point?
No, I agree.
And again, we've had some trick plays. I know that's everybody's favorite. Everybody can't wait to see the trick play.
Just one, maybe just one, but
it came at a bad time.
Yeah, well, I mean, if unless you count the PAT or the lack of the PAT, the 2-point conversion, right? Like that. I mean, I guess I would count that as a trick play because it's a weird formation lining up. It's weird to go for it for 2. You get Turner Helton in the game there. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. We had the best start to that game imaginable, period.
Yeah.
Period, right? Yes, they moved the ball. I think they got a first down in 2 plays or whatever it was. We forced the fumble. We get great field position. We put Weston Bryan in, right?
Yeah.
The touted freshman that everyone's excited about. From the very limited action we've seen of him, I mean, A+. You can't say more about the kid.
Yeah.
Run the ball, pass the ball, made a good throw, made a throw that Camden Brown could come down with a spectacular catch on.
Yeah. Even with the PI call. I mean,
with the PI. Yeah. So good throw, even better catch. We go up, should be 7-0. Then not only do we decide to go for 2, but we put that weird formation in and we put Turner Helton in the game.
Yeah.
Right. Which like everyone on X is calling out of like, oh, well, we just want to get Helton's kid like a chance to play like a meaningful time in the Coliseum. And obviously we can't validate that. We have no idea like
Yeah,
the
no.
decision making behind that. But right, yes, he is the backup quarterback. It's just a weird call, Cody. It just
totally is a weird call.
It just is. If you're gonna go for two, my first option would be Weston Bryan, the guy that just threw the touchdown pass.
Yeah,
line him up in a jumbo package, put your biggest tight ends, your biggest linemen in, and maybe not a tush push because I think like it isn't 2-point conversion like 5-yard line.
No, it's 2.5.
Is it 2.5?
Yeah,
well, then tush push, like like something like a heavy package, and then you run this hoss that's 260 pounds, right? You don't put Turner Helton in. If you're gonna put a thinner quarterback in, you put French in your QB1. And you run something, even if it is a QB draw with him, but in a normal like lineup, right? Like it's
exactly. I think to me, when it comes to 2-point conversions, you have your best athletes on the field to run it, unless there is something that you specifically have seen in film that is a huge weak spot in whatever sort of scheme that they run for trying to block an extra point that you can exploit. Outside of that, you put your best offensive players on the field, and that's always been sort of my thought as to that's how you should run it. My other thought is that you should never do a 2-point conversion unless it's absolutely necessary, in which case there's no need to do it 13 minutes or 2.5 minutes into the game.
It's honestly amateur hour.
I wouldn't call it amateur hour.
No,
I would call it being overly. I think it's overly zealous, and again,
I think that's being generous. I would call it amateur hour because like it's that to me shows that like we have no confidence we can actually win this game. We're just going to go and we're going to try to get 8 points. Maybe we catch them off guard and get 8 points, and that's 2 more points than we would have gotten, or 1 more point than we would have gotten if we got the PAT. Like it's, to me, it's like I saw someone on X say this way more eloquently than I'm saying it, but it's just like if you believe that you belong there, you go down, you go up, you go to their house, you go up a touchdown, you kick the PAT, and you have the momentum, and then you carry that. From that moment, I would say we had momentum, and then immediately lost
gave it back
and
to
never
them.
got it back. So I'm sorry, Cody, I disagree.
No, I don't disagree with you on that as terms of the momentum swing. I guess you can call it amateur hour if that's how you want to describe it. I would just call it as just I mean, like, I don't know.
Overzealous. Overzealous again is the polite way of putting it.
Okay,
it is. It's but like again, it's
a
like
lack
if
of
we
judgment.
I don't think it's honestly a lack of judgment. I think it's a lack of confidence that we belonged on the same field with them, and we got in their eyes a break with the fumble. We go down, we get quote unquote lucky with the Weston Bryan pass, and then it's like instead of going up by 7, let's go up by 8. But to what avail, right? It's like go up by 7, put your defense on the field again. That just forced the fumble, and see what happens, and like. It's just little stuff like that. And then like, we had the drive where we tried the like double reverse, pass with Cobb or whatever. And thankfully he took the sack, could have thrown the ball away, but thankfully
I was going to say, just throw the ball away.
Don't try to run. I agree, but at least he didn't throw it down the field for a pick. Yeah.
Like, are they not teaching Dalen Cobb that, hey, like when we throw you the ball, you're outside the tackle box. So if the play's not there, just
they didn't teach him to not run out of the back of the end zone on a kickoff. So no, they didn't teach him, Cody. Like,
just throw it out.
By the way, welcome to GATA Talk. I'm Matt. That's Cody. We thank you to our sponsor, Can Cut Tools. Andy Thompson, God bless him. He was out in California for 2 weeks. Witness the mayhem that was the Fresno State game, and then the just devastating loss that was this USC game where we gave up 755 yards. So we'll get to that here in a minute. But thank you, Andy Thompson. Thank you, Can Cut Tools.
Hank Aaron and the home run number.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it was. All in the plan. So thank you, Andy Thompson. Thank you, Can Cut Tools. Go check them out. Premium drill bits and cutting tools, cancut.com, KNKUT.com. Check them out on Instagram. Honestly, premium stuff. I have a sign back here. I'm not going to go grab it, but I've got a brochure that I'll do it after our first win. I'll after our first win. Hopefully it's not 8 games from now, but after our first win,
Man,
I will showcase the brochure on our video feed on YouTube as well as the sign because they got some good stuff, Cody. Honestly,
you may want to tell
really
Andy
do.
to just go ahead and do that on his Instagram on his own because it may be
No,
wild.
they've got good stuff. They really do. I mean, again, if you're a hobbyist, if you're like in the industry, if you know someone who is, they do a lot of stuff at like Jeep conventions and things like that. So anyway, a lot of stuff to showcase. So we'll do that at a later time when we have more positive things to talk about. But thank you,
Or
Kate,
less.
or less.
This episode may be great for it, man.
It might be. That's all we're going to talk about is just drill bits. We're only going to talk about drill bits because honestly, I'd rather talk about drill bits than what we just watched for the last 3.5 hours. It's true. Thank you, Andy. K-Cut Tools.
That brochure, let's pull it out.
The brochure. I mean, Jeeps, dude. Like like they go to a lot of Jeep conventions, and when I met my wife, you know her, Cody. I mean, she drove a Wrangler. Misses it to this day. Yeah, it's great for any Jeep lovers out there. So anyway, with that, let's turn. We talked briefly about offense. We can come back to them. Let's talk about defense or lack thereof in this game and of the season, Cody. So I believe it's the most points we've ever given up in the first 2 games of the season. Ever?
Yeah, I think based on my research, and that's basically going to Clack's website, GATADB.com, and scrolling through each of the seasons, and trying to, and quickly trying to sum up, the first 2 scores of each season. Yeah, I think this is the most we've ever given up in the first 2 games of a season. I believe the most was 1996 with 76 points, and that included going up against one of the most prolific offenses of all time in the 90s is that Florida Gator offense. We played the second game. They scored 62 points on us that year. I think that was the year that Danny Warfel won the Heisman, if I'm not mistaken. So, it's, there's nothing, I don't think there's really anything positive you can look at from a fan's perspective and say, hey, this is something that we kind of hang our hat on.
Not
or
on
kinda,
the defensive side.
No.
No.
I mean, it just from an outsider's looking in, just not X's and O's, no, coaching, nothing like that. I felt like the players were lost at times. I felt like tackling was bad at times. I felt like
really bad.
Yeah, I felt like the play calling just again, it just seemed like I think USC looked at the Fresno State tape and said, hey, when we could put 2 tight ends and just power them, we can open up these big runs. And I think they ran, what was it? I think it's 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends.
Yeah, 309 yards rushing.
Yeah,
which doesn't match the 351 that Fresno did, but Fresno only had, I think they had under 200 yards passing.
Yeah,
where USC had 446 yards passing. Their starting quarterback set a career record.
He set a career record. Yep.
Yeah.
And so again, I get that USC's talented in all their skill positions. I get that they've really recruited heavy in terms of the offensive line and tight end spots. I think they talked about on the broadcast, TV broadcast at least, that as of right now, I think they have them as like the number 1 recruiting class going into 2026.
Yeah.
So obviously, they've taken recruiting very seriously the last couple of years. With that being said, again, I don't think Fresno State certainly does not have the best recruiting class nor the most talented players. And they very easily were able to find holes and exploit our defense and make it look like Swiss cheese and just absolutely just abysmal. So you don't have to have the most talent to put up career numbers. And at this rate, everybody's going to put career numbers on a defense.
Yeah, we're over 1,000, or no, way more over 1,000. 500 yards given up against Fresno, 500 plus, 755.
We've got to be dead last in just about all metrics and defense, I would assume.
Have to be after this week. Again, we're recording this the night of the game, so that's not going to be available. But we do know, at least we think, that this single game is the most yards we've ever given up to an offense in our entire history. So again, shout out to Captain Clack. According to GATADB.com, couple numbers could be off, but it was 712 is what we think. 2009 against App State, rough year that Cody graduated and year before I graduated. So we were there to witness it live. But yeah, gave up 712 yards to App State that year, and 755. So beat it by a pretty sizable margin.
We did. Again, if you're having to compare any defensive stats to the 2009 team, that's really, really bad. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know how this gets fixed. I don't think this is something that you can get fixed within a week. I don't know.
You can't get fixed.
I don't think you can.
The defense is what it is. The only way we're going to move forward, Cody, against Jacksonville State, which we'll preview here in a second, our next game, and moving forward, Maine, JMU, everyone else on the conference schedule, is to outscore people. Period. That's the only way we're going to have any success this season.
We haven't been scoring points. I mean, we
haven't. We
go back to the 6th game last year. So what? That's 8 games, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think 6, 7 games plus these 2. So let's just say the last 9 games, we haven't scored 30 points or more, except for one time. So where are the points coming from? They're not. I mean, if we were averaging 35, 40 points, I can say, yeah, that's a realistic game plan that we can go out there and outscore people, right? No. Kyle Van Treese and Brian Ellis and Darren Burgess, they're not walking through those locker room doors. I don't see us outscoring anybody. I really don't. As much as I think some folks are kind of putting their hopes in that, if all we can average is 26, 27 points or whatever it is that we've scored the last 9, 10 ball games, we're not beating folks. We're just not. And so I think if this continues to happen and we go the way that it seems to be trending, we're going to have a lot of hard questions and a lot of hard decisions that's going to have to start to be made here.
Yeah.
Right?
So
there you go.
Yeah, you see here. So, right, if you're watching on YouTube, shout out to YouTube. Go subscribe and like this episode on YouTube, even if you're listening on Apple or Spotify. But yeah, showing last year and the final couple games there. So that devastating loss against Troy, 28-20, only scored 20 points in that game. 26 against Coastal Carolina. 29 against App State, only 26 against Sam Houston.
But you go above that, only 19 against ODU, 28 against JMU, 24 against Marshall. Like I said, the only time we have scored more than 30 points was against South Alabama.
Right.
And so how many games is that? Starting from Marshall, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? So 10 games. 10 games, and we've only scored 30 points once. That's, I'm thinking with you, that's probably the last straw that we have as fans is to hold on to. But I don't know. I mean, Jacksonville State held UCF. Granted, it was with their backup quarterback to 17 points. I mean, their defense isn't going to be terrible. They held Liberty to 24 points today. The defense isn't bad. And plus, they got a little bit of extra motivation considering that the defensive lineman that left after Dexter Williams is now on that team, and it's in the rotation and is playing. The name is slipping my mind. As well as the tight ends coach that we had, that was Marshall's former OC, Trickett, that is now their OC.
Clint Trickett.
So I mean, it's again, I just don't. I'm not very positive about this game, which. Again, Matt, the preseason expectations that you and I think just about everybody else had is just completely shattered at this point.
It's shattered. Yeah, it is. And I think yes. And it's so disappointing because Cody and I obviously you wouldn't glean this from this episode or the last episode. But yeah, we like go back and listen to the preview episodes. We were super high on this team. We were super high on the coaching staff. We were super high on the coordinators. We were super high. Like we were so positive, right?
Yeah.
And largely we have been to all of that throughout the Clay Helton era. Like yes, we have been critical at times. But I would say like largely, especially compared to some other like fan podcasts and stuff out there,
Yeah.
and just like fans in general on social media, like we've given them the benefit of the doubt. It's done now. I'm sorry. Like we're not seeing it. Like we thought this was the year that we'd all put it together,
Yeah.
and we're just not seeing it. Does
No.
that mean that we could run the table and end up 10-2? It's possible. Okay. It's possible.
It's
But
also possible that one of our listeners could win the Powerball tonight too.
it is.
But
I didn't buy a
same,
ticket, Cody.
I didn't either. I didn't
Amanda
either.
told me to buy a ticket. I didn't. It's like, go buy a ticket. I'm like, where do you go buy a ticket? She's like, I think a gas station. We never played the lottery. Right. But and that's another thing, right? So I live in Colorado, and like we have sports gambling here. Digital sports gambling has been legal here for many years. Still not in Georgia, correct, Cody?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I have partaken in some a parlay or two in my time. And I've bet on singular games and stuff. And yeah, I used to bet on Georgia Southern. I never bet against them. Never. That was a steadfast rule. But
Yeah.
a couple years ago, I stopped betting on them, period. Whether it was a parlay straight up, over, under, money line, spread, whatever, never did it. Right. I'm so thankful for that because like, it's just like, yeah, I mean, you have optimism going in, and they just let you down, man. Like, I mean, 755 yards, really? Like, Cody, you owe me $5.
I do. I owe you $5. So for those listening, we made a bet, and the bet is that USC would have more yards at halftime than Oregon had yards at halftime against Oklahoma State. Matt
Which
won
was
that
like
bet.
470 something.
Yeah.
And it was like 415.
Correct.
It's very close.
It's very close. Matt was sweating there for a second. He was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna lose.
I'm gonna Venmo you $5."
But again, that's what we're at. In not to make light of how bad we played or how poorly we performed and showed up. But it just kind of goes to show that this is how I think a lot of the fans feel at this point. It's just that, I think we've just all kind of come to terms that this is what it is. This is what.
There's no sense. There's no sense of getting your hopes up.
No.
Right?
Especially when you feel like, at least a lot of the fans that I've seen online feel like Coach Helton is just, I don't want to say going through the motions, but when he does have the speaking availability,
it's
whether
like a robot.
Yeah, it's just sort of just going through the motions or going through the politically correct things to say at a press conference, and that you don't really see emotion. Like you can't really tell from a fan if he really is upset or if he's like okay about it, or what, is this acceptable to him? Is it not acceptable to him? Is at least with other coaches, Brian Kelly last year, right after LSU lost to USC, goes in front of the press and slams his hand on the table and gets upset and pretty much walks off because he understands that performance that they had was unacceptable to his fan base, and realizes that if he doesn't get it corrected, he's probably going to be out of a job at LSU. And, as the LSU season went on, I think they finished with 9 wins or something like that. I think he, was able to kind of turn that ship around and perform better. But I don't see that really with Helton. And then we never hear anything out of the coordinators. And I think from now on, I'm just going to come on the Avery podcast and say, please, somebody get the coordinators up
What'd
in
you
front
see?
of
What didn't you see?
the press, the media availability. I don't want to hear from the players. I really don't, because it's unfair to them. I don't think that the media is going to really drill them with hard questions, because obviously they're just students. They're just 18, 20-year-old kids who honestly are trying to balance school and life and playing football and all this, newness to them. No, I want the coaches. I want the men who should be leading this and responsible for the game planning and everything else. I want them up there taking the questions. I want Brandon Bailey up there taking questions as to why in the world the defense is what it is. I want Appling up there answering, why are we calling screen passes 6 yards beyond the line, behind the line of scrimmage? Why is that even a play design? Why do we even have that in our playbook? What's the point of it when there's so much room for that to absolutely fail?
Yep.
But, I just, I don't see that happening. And I think that's another very frustrating aspect of this as a fan is that what will change? Will anything change? If nothing changes, then it just seems like we're just okay with what the results are. And that just kind of pisses me off even more, So I see that you got something pulled up, so roll with it, Matt.
So I don't know if you saw this, Cody. We haven't even talked about it, but Nick, who's a follower of ours and he knows ball, he shared this Reddit thread that what even is like the parent of it. It's just college football. And this started of like, hey, he's returned to the Coliseum. What's kind of his legacy? And both sides chimed in. Georgia Southern fans, USC fans. It was just really interesting to read this. Again, go find it yourself. We'll link it out somewhere so you can. It was just a lot of stuff we were saying on the last episode, Cody. We did talk about it at the time he was hired. But honestly, I think most fans didn't listen, certainly there were some that were like, oh, I'm not a believer, but it's like, I was on record saying, and I'll double down on it. Like I was on record saying when he came in, it was the biggest coach to ever come to Georgia Southern, period. I'm sorry. It was. Yes, I know that includes Irk Russell, but Irk Russell didn't win a Rose Bowl. He didn't win a Pac-12 championship. Yes, he won a national championship with Georgia, but it was as the defensive coordinator. So in no way am I comparing Clay Helton to Irk Russell. Of course, I would never do that. God bless Irk Russell. But yes, he was a huge name. He had like a pretty decent record coming in. And he was the most accomplished head coach we've ever hired at Georgia Southern, period.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to put it. Most accomplished head coach that we've hired.
Most accomplished. But how did he get that? Right. And that's basically what this thread talks about is like, he kind of, I don't want to say weaseled, but like he was at USC for 12 years, quarterbacks coach, offensive coordinator, interim head coach twice, then head coach for 5 years. Obviously again, had some accomplishments, but the gripes from the USC fans were just like, dude, it's always the same. It's the same stuff we're seeing now. It's the coach speak. It's not accepting accountability. It's just like saying all the right things. Oh, so-and-so's a good team. Oh, we had a good experience. Oh, we're young, whatever. And it's like, man, should we have paid more attention, to what they were saying? Like,
I think maybe we should have, and maybe you hope that people will learn from their mistakes as they get onto new jobs. But again, it's I understand what you're saying, but we can't. I don't think we can really. I don't want to. How do I phrase this, Matt? I don't want to say that we don't look into the past, but looking at what USC fans think of Clay Helton, I don't think is really going to help us with how we need to move forward as a team now. Right? Like, what's the best way for this team to try to salvage this?
It should have helped us before extending before 5 years.
Well, okay, all right. That was
he was 20 and 19.
He was. I would say probably
we fired Lunsford, who had like a 650 record,
but he had also, I think, lost control of the team.
He had
turned.
This isn't defending Lunsford. I mean,
I know.
Go back.
It was a loss of control of the team. a team that was trending downward. You can say that the end of last year, besides the bowl loss, we were trending upward. We finished 3-1, won I think the final 6 out of our last 7, something like that, or 6 out of our last 8, and looked to be trending up. Recruiting had seemed to be doing well. Again, I don't think from anything that we could have foreseen or how this season would open up, I certainly didn't see us getting blown out by Fresno State. I certainly, didn't foresee us having the worst probably 2-game start to a season.
That's the thing. Like double-digit loss to USC, sure. Everyone thought that was a possibility. Giving up 755 yards to him, yeah, probably not.
Well, prior to the season starting, no.
Prior to the season starting, no.
Absolutely not. But
yeah,
now you see the 2 games and you're like, wow, like we're in a lot of trouble. And then you're starting to look back and think, okay, like where did this sort of, begin? And I think we have not, or Coach Helton has not surrounded himself, I think, with the best coaching talent available.
No, he hasn't. And he's lost.
I will at least give his little brother this. His little brother has no problem going up and trying to find the best available offensive coordinator that he can go get, or the best defense. I don't want to say it, but Tyson Summers is a better defensive coordinator than Brandon Bailey is right now.
100%.
So I mean,
yeah, 100. He is, and that's the thing is because Tyson Helton, is not afraid to go to the FCS level to find talent.
Mm-hmm.
What Clay Helton has done, he's, picked from the tree or done other stuff, where it's like, yeah, we've had talented coaches and we've talked about it, Cody. Like we haven't fired a lot of coaches. A lot of coaches have left on their own accord for greener pastures. They have, right? For NFL jobs. We have, guys that have left,
for better college positions.
Utah and Louisville. Thank you. Yeah, the Richard Owens, offensive line coach. Will Harris, our first defensive coordinator, who wasn't good. He wasn't as a defensive coordinator. Very good defensive backs coach. Very bad defensive coordinator. Went to the Chargers, then went to Florida. I believe he's at Miami now. Who's doing great. And we've got a running backs coach that went to USF. I don't know if he's still there, but he was there like a year ago or whatever. Yeah. They just beat Florida, they're 2-0. It beat Boise State in week 1. So we've had a lot of really talented coaches that have come through that have left on their own accord for greener pastures. But I think it was like a revolving door that wasn't sustainable. And now we've got stuck with, it starts with the coordinators, right? If you have bad coordinators, you're probably going to have bad position coaches, period. And and that's kind of where we're at. We have very young, inexperienced, green coordinators and the staffs that follow.
Yeah. So, again, I think we're just going to have to play it out for the rest of the season. And we hope that it improves. Honestly, would love to see it improve.
Where do we go from here, Cuddy? We'll talk about Jacksonville State here in a second, but just of the first 2 games, like realistically, what are we looking at? That's what fans want.
Like record wise?
Just record wise, accomplishment wise.
Jeez, Matt.
Is winning the Sun Belt is that a pipe dream?
Yeah, completely. It's a pipe dream. Winning the East is a pipe dream. I don't think we're competing with ODU. I don't think we're competing with JMU. App State kind of had I didn't watch any of their games.
App State looks bad.
But they didn't.
They barely beat Lindelwood or something. Yeah.
Something I've never heard of before.
Yeah.
Georgia State hung around for Memphis for a while, and before Memphis pulled away in the second half. I don't know if
Georgia State and Old Dominion scare me the most.
I don't think.
Luckily, we get both of them at home.
I don't know if we beat any of them, to be honest with you. I think I look at Coastal and say, okay, we get Coastal at home. Maybe we can win that game.
We win that game.
Arkansas State, I really have no idea about. I don't.
Yeah, they're
I
an enigma.
yeah. But it's away, and right now us playing away is
I
look
know we close
terrible.
that. Yeah.
So L, again right now it does not look good at all. Maybe one of the worst seasons,
The
win-loss record.
Sun Belt looks really bad, y'all. It really does.
Outside of, like, one or two teams. Old Dominion looked the
they
hype
look the
host.
best of anybody, right?
Yeah.
Consistency through 2 games, basically, right? I don't think anyone played in week 0. So, like, out of the first 2 weeks of the college football season, Old Dominion, I think, looks collectively the best.
And Texas State.
Texas State, which is 2-0.
Yeah.
Old Dominion's 1-1. But the teams that they played, they hung with both of those teams. So, but yeah, the East looks, outside of Old Dominion, looks really rough. I mean, like Coastal, App, like you said. I mean, we were like, oh, maybe App's good because they beat Charlotte, but then like UNC blew the doors off of Charlotte, and I think UNC's really bad with Bill Belichick. So like, it's I think the East is completely winnable. I don't know if we have enough to do it. I don't. I get it. I think we are battle tested. I will say that.
Yeah.
I think we might be the most battle tested team. If you want some kind of spin, some kind of PR spin, optimism here, I think we are probably going to be the most battle tested team of maybe anyone in the conference. Just back to back cross country road games, against what's shaping up to look like a solid Fresno team. Right, they're 2-1. They beat Oregon State. They beat us, but they did lose to Kansas. Kansas lost to Missouri, but played them really close. And then USC, I think, is going to be a top 25 team. They might not be a playoff team, but I think they'll be a top 25 team when it's all said and done. And yeah, so I think we're certainly battle tested. What is that going to result in? I have no idea. But
I'm with you. I don't know either. I just, looking at the metrics and looking at kind of how we're trending, it just doesn't look good. I mean, it really doesn't.
I agree.
And I hate to be, the Debbie Downer, the pessimistic one, but I just don't really see any way of where this kind of turns around. Could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
We both hope you're wrong, Cody. Like, we hope we're wrong. Like the yeah, it's the it's
this reminds me of the year that Lunsford got fired, right? Where we just kind of knew that things were bad, things weren't going to get better, and we were just kind of just hoping for the end of the season to get here for maybe some changes could be a bright spot in the off season. Again, I think if you're Helton and the coaching staff, I think you just tell the team that this is just a 2-game preseason.
Yeah,
to try to kind of
100%.
clean the board.
100%.
That you now have just a 10-game season.
Yeah.
And your job is to go 1-0 the rest of these 10 games, best that you can.
I agree.
If I'm Brandon Bailey as a coach, I don't think he'll do this. Because I think I've lost all confidence in him.
Yeah.
I would try to simplistic down my defense as much as possible to get my players. Yeah, there you go. Simplify my defense.
Simplistic down.
It is 12:10 and I only got 3.5 hours of sleep last night, Matt. I am.
What are you doing with 3.5 hours of sleep?
Fumes. I'm on fumes. It's just life.
3.5 hours?
Yeah, I was up at like 7 soccer games for the girls.
Yeah, but why'd you go to bed at 4? Why'd you go to bed at 4?
8 up late, man. So anyways,
4?
Yeah. So
that's why you're drinking water now?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It is Sam's water.
Not a sponsor, but it can
Not a
be.
sponsor. The Walton family wants to.
Members Mark, let's do it.
But I just just simplify the defense as much as possible to get the players to play as quickly and without hesitation.
I agree.
And focus on stopping the run.
Yeah, I agree with that. Easier said than done, though, right?
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
it's very much easy.
To me, it's like there's been a lot of talk in this past week, right? Of like, oh, it's not coaching, it's not scheme, right? It's like gap assignments, it's execution. Yeah, it is, right? It is coaching. It's like, but yeah, I don't like.
How do they know what to execute? How do they? It's
I
from
know.
coaching.
If you're not putting them in the right position, if they're not in the right scheme, then they're not going to be able to.
Or if they don't have the knowledge, if they don't if they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And
when you see this guy go into motion, when you see this look from the offense, this is what you drop. This is the right. This is like the secondary look.
Boom, boom, boom,
like,
boom, boom. Like,
yeah, right. Yeah. It's just like an offense. If you see the defense showing you whatever, then you check down, you check down, you check down, you do this, you audible, right? Like same thing with the defense. You see a certain look from the offense, you don't just like do status quo, you like just to what they're showing you. I don't have any confidence in our defensive coordinator that he knows any of that.
It's frustrating because I think, and the other thing that's baffling too is that there are times last year in which you had certain games in which we performed well defensively against what I felt like were teams that were better than Fresno State, and just I don't know, Matt. It just does not seem to look good.
No, I mean, again, I think the offense can be productive, but if the defense can't be any better than that, giving up whatever it is, 1,300 yards through 2 games and almost 100 points, over 100 points. Yeah, it's not like we're not going to win the Sun Belt Conference Championship. We're not going to win a divisional championship. We're not. And so like I think
not make
offense,
a bowl either.
We're probably not going to make a bowl. We're certainly not going to win the bowl game against a back school or whatever for the 4th straight year. And it's frustrating because I do think the offense can be good. They're not perfect. They're far from perfect. Okay.
Yeah,
they are. We're not like praising Applin and praising the praising the offense here, but like I think they can be good. But with that defense, you're not going to win a lot of games. You're just not.
No, you're not. Not if they perform the way they do.
Yeah, unless they turn a huge quarter. That's the thing. Is like, it's just. I get it. Tough draw, back-to-back road games. Maybe Fresno's a lot better than we think. USC is USC. Maybe it's just like an anomaly. But
hopefully that means
hopefully they're not going to suddenly turn into a top 25 defense, right? So like that's the thing is like, are they going to give up 755 yards every week? No, let's hope not. But like, are they going to give up 450 yards every week? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. And we're going to have to find a way to counter that.
Yeah, and if we want to win, we better score more than 30 points.
Exactly. Which we haven't been able to do in 2 games, So, can we do that against some of the teams in the Sun Belt? Yes, I think we can. But it's a very hard position to put the offense in.
It is, especially when you have, I think, JMU to start off conference play. JMU's defense looks legit. I didn't see Southern Miss's game. I don't know how they played. Arkansas State, didn't they get blown out by Arkansas today? Pretty bad.
It was decently bad, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Again, I feel like we kind of discussed this in the last podcast, but that we wouldn't really, again, pick up much as to what this team is now that after the USC game, because we all kind of knew what was going to happen. We all kind of knew this was going to be the outcome of this game.
We knew we were going to lose. We didn't know how bad or the stat line or any of that, but yeah.
So, again, I think we're kind of like in this like weird situation to where we don't know kind of where our season's going, right? Like if we go against Jacksonville State and we beat them, I think that'll obviously increase everybody's hopes for how the season can go.
I think how we beat them, honestly.
Yeah.
Like if we go in and win close, like I'm not saying that's not going to like change like perceptions at all, But like if we go in and we beat them, it is a shootout. We give up 450 yards of offense, and we beat them like 42, 42 to 40 or something. Like, yeah, there'll be a little bit of hope, but at the same time, it's like, no, like, yeah, we'll beat Maine probably, but we're probably not going to beat JMU, and we're going to struggle against Southern Miss, at home on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Like, it's that kind of thing. So I don't think it's just like a win-loss thing. I think it's like how we look and the stat line,
So, all right. Well, how are we going to preview this Jacksonville State game?
Yeah, I got the stats.
All right.
There we go. There you go. You see that?
No, here it comes. There it comes.
You're in it, so
I didn't get to watch a lot of their game today.
I didn't either. It was very weird. Did you get the same thing? Did you get my text on that?
No. What was it? I mean, I'm sure I got it, but I don't remember reading it.
So we both have YouTube TV for those who, no one would know that. And I'm in Colorado, Cody's in Georgia. I could not find the game. It was on CBS Sports Network.
Yes.
I could not find it. I literally searched, like I looked on Live, I looked on Home, I looked on, Filter Sports, all the things. And then I searched finally like Liberty and then Liberty football. And then it showed me all like the Liberty football games, and it showed me this game, but it only showed me the highlights. The game was still live. There was like 4 minutes left, and it was fairly close. And it only would show me the highlights or start from the beginning. I could watch the game from the beginning, and then I fast forward all the way to be like, okay, play live, and it wouldn't.
Okay, so I could watch the game, but they had a long lightning weather delay.
That might be why.
So that could be probably I probably could have screwed something up. But yeah, I think it happened fairly early in the game too. Like it was like still 7-0 or 7-7, something along those lines. Anyways, I think it was a delay for like a good couple hours before they picked back up and started playing again. So
yeah.
Which is the second game in a row that Jacksonville State has been involved in some sort of, I think, a lightning delay.
True, because they played UCF in the first game, lost 17 to 10.
Which doesn't bode well for our game. Yeah, no,
which doesn't bode well for our game. Let's hope the weather holds up. But yeah, 17 to 10, I think they lost that game. Very low scoring, defensive battle. UCF did win today, I believe. But I think they played like a FCS school.
Scroll down a little bit on these stats. Let me see the score. All right, whoa, go back up. Just kind of, all right. So Liberty had 5 total yards.
Look at it. 534 in total yards to 390. And
so they only had
24 to 24. Yeah.
So
turnovers, 1, fumble, 2 total, interception and fumble.
Probably where it swung.
This is what I want to really look at, Cody. All right.
Yeah.
They ran the ball 50 times. 50 times. 50 for 338 yards. All right. So Fresno ran for 351. I think USC was 320 or something, 310. So that's the storyline right there.
Yeah.
Can we do anything to stop a rushing attack? That's what they're going to want to do. They see that we've given up, freaking 700, 800 yards over 2 games rushing. Can
no, you're exactly right. They're going to come out and run the ball down our throats. Now, they may try to open it up with a play-action pass to see if they can surprise us out the gate. But you're right. I think they're going to follow the formula that Fresno State figured out through the second quarter and in the second half, and followed what USC did with their running attack today. And I think they'll just load up the line, probably play a lot of 2 tight end sets and edge off the wall off the edge and try to run some inside zone to split open the A gap, and there we go.
52 passing yards. for Jax State.
on
52.
12 attempts.
12 attempts. So I mean,
Who was their leading rusher? Was it their quarterback or was it the running back that
I already got it off. Is it updated? It is updating. Look at that. I'm looking at UCF right now, their first game. So they gave up 422 yards. They had 322,
they were more
157 passing. More balanced. 165
but
rushing, 157 passing.
yeah, UCF I think played their rushing attack a lot better.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, they were a lot more balanced in the UCF game. But they again, if they're creating the holes and they're getting the yards per attempt, it'd be the same way as the Liberty game. They'll probably run it 50, 60 times. Whereas if they're
I
not, then
agree.
they'll open it up like they tried it against UCF. So obviously, the goal is to, I think, stack the box, crash the gaps, keep your, maintain your integrity. Don't, if you're on the edge, don't let the tackle or the tight end wall you off and make it to where the running back can get out to the outside.
Yeah, Cam Cook is their main running back. 29 carries, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns, long of 31 against Liberty. They also had the quarterback runs a lot, so 10 carries, 78 yards against Liberty, 1 touchdown, long of 44. So
Yeah, I think they a
yeah,
lot of option looks too,
a lot
right?
of
That
option. Yep.
just a duel, but still he'll have a pitch, he'll have a key that he reads, and if the defender, you know, breaks on him or is in a certain position, he'll give it off to the running back. If not, he'll keep it and go with it. So you're gonna have to definitely have somebody on both the running back and the quarterback. I think if you really want to be serious about attacking this and stopping this Russian attack.
Yeah.
Which again, I think we have the speed and the skill set to do so. Just do we
The
have the
scheme,
freaking scheme to do it?
the
Or are
plan.
we
Yeah.
or are we just gonna splits wide or whatever the case may be and have our
Yeah.
linebackers
I
8
I
yards back and
I agree.
you know
I think this will be the most evenly matched talent-wise game we've had this season.
no.
I will. You think Fresno is?
I think we
You
were
really think Fresno
I
is?
think we're talent-wise more talented than both Fresno State and Jacksonville State.
Okay, I thought I was going to say don't say USC,
No, no, no,
but
no.
but yeah, I mean, I certainly going into the game thought that. Now, after seeing Fresno for 3 games now, I've been paying attention, right? And like, I don't know. I mean, they look more talented than us, if I'm being honest. They do, but yeah, uh, the key we're not going to win this
It could
game
also just be
scoring.
that they're a lot well coached.
It could be,
They're
yeah,
they're
very
which
well
again,
coached. Yeah, game planning. I mean, yeah, North Dakota State coach, Matt Entz, right? Like Lincoln Riley. So, yeah, it could be Cody. But what do we know? We're just fans.
we're just fans. We've never
We're just
coached,
fans. We've never coached.
according to our new number 1 fan.
Oh my God, Craig Taylor. Man, oh man.
Uh,
We have no right, Cody, to our opinion. We've never been in the locker room. We've never coached. No call to play.
nothing.
No right to an opinion.
Nothing. But no, I hate to say it. It's sort of wait and see. Wait and see if there's any hope. Wait and see if they have any. And uh, Matt, I think as a fan, we were hoping to come back from California 1-1, something that we can
Yeah,
hang our hat on. Say, okay, we beat
that was
Fresno
the
State,
standard.
even if it was like an ugly win. You could say, okay, we beat
Yeah,
Fresno State. They already
like
had
a
a game under
Nevada
their
win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had a game under their belt. We didn't. We just traveled the night before, whatever the case. It was 100 degrees. We got through it. We came out of there 1-1. That's all we wanted, right? And that would have been, I think, what most fans had their expectations set for was that.
I thought that and like a 20, 30 point or less loss
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
USC,
something.
maybe even 25 or less, like,
Mhm.
and certainly not 755 yards or
No.
more, you know,
No.
somewhere maybe around between 400 and 500, and like they're probably in the 40-ish point range, or we're in the 20-ish point
Yeah.
range. Like that's what I thought, honestly.
So, but I mean, that's not where we're at. I think it's two performances that don't leave the fans very excited. Don't leaves a lot of the fans worried, to be honest, about
I mean, they
how.
should be, yeah.
Yeah, and I think we're just trying to grasp for anything positive. And
Camden Brown looks awesome.
Camden Brown does look good. He looks to be all that
He
he's
looks
advertised.
all is advertised. I mean, the kid, I don't like he's had maybe one drop, maybe, but
I don't even know.
yeah, I don't know, but like I only say that because someone on Twitter said like, oh, after I said whatever, like praised him, he dropped something, but like I didn't see it. Yeah, I think he had one where like, but it wasn't on him. It was like a French like skipped it,
Gotcha.
but yeah, no, he looks great, and you know I think he will be a problem in the
I
Sun
honestly
Belt.
think most of the offensive line looked halfway
They
decent.
did. They did. I
I
agree.
mean, I
They
can't. I
they improved. I will say they looked better from week 1 to week 2.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they did
Um,
collectively
the running
against
backs look
better talent.
fine.
Running backs look great. I thought top to bottom, literally top to bottom. I think
Yeah.
everyone from OJ to Gibbs to Badinga to Samuel, who got like garbage time and broke
Yeah.
off several runs. Running backs all looked
They
fantastic.
all look
I
good.
mean, yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think. Receivers. You could tell that there's been some added zip on JC French's throws. I feel like his velocity is a lot faster.
He had a couple really good
Um,
zip in balls. He
again,
did.
I just think that the coaching staff just are setting up. I feel like up for failure at times, just with play calling and play design.
They shoot
And
themselves in the foot. They do.
yeah, they do. They do.
We get momentum. It's like, dude, we're going toe to toe with them, and it's like double reverse, option pass, wide receiver. You know,
Yeah.
kick it, and catch. It's like, what?
Again,
No,
just I think what I would like from this coaching staff is to go into Jacksonville State. Just keep it simple. Just keep it
yeah,
simple.
keep
Don't
it simple, stupid.
yeah, just
Right?
don't overthink it. Oh, you're gonna be tempted to do that trick play. No, don't.
Don't.
Oh, you're gonna be tempted to throw some, bubble pass or screen
And
pass.
just run the
Six.
ball. Like
Yeah.
just like balanced offense. Like we had 142 yards. You said like most were in garbage time. Now that I'm looking at it, you're probably right. Because Jamarian Samuel had 4 carries for 58 yards. So a third, right, of our total
Mhm.
rushing yards. And he came in at garbage time with second string in for USC. But OJ Arnold had 8 carries for 45 yards. Badinga had 11 for 39. Like, run the ball, do high percentage pass plays. You know, like, yeah, don't get cute. Like I said last week, like we don't need to get cute. We shouldn't need to get cute to beat
No.
Fresno or Jax State or Maine or anyone in the conference. Period. We
Mm-mm.
shouldn't. If you argue with that and say we should, then like we have a big discussion to
Yeah.
have. Right?
Also, we need to keep the ball as often as we can so that our defense isn't on the field
That
because
too. They're
the more
terrible.
they're on there, the more bad things are gonna happen.
Exactly.
So at this point, again, it's I think it's coming to the realization that the preseason expectations were way too high and not realistic.
Unfortunately.
Now we're trying to
I
understand
hope
where
we're wrong,
exactly we're
Cody.
at.
I
Yeah.
I hope
I
we're wrong.
but
But
I think the mindset has got to switch. We got to just say, okay, that 2 games are done. That is preseason. That is, just forget it in terms of we got a 10-game schedule. And here we go. 10-game season. We gotta make do. We can still technically accomplish all their goals, winning the East, winning the
yeah.
conference, making a decent bowl game, winning the bowl game.
I said it in the preseason episodes, right? Of like, I don't care. I still don't what our final record is, but like, I don't. I really don't like.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a tough schedule. Again, if it battle tests us, that's great. But from what I've seen, it's not about the record. It's not that we're 0-2. It's how we've lost those 2 games.
Oh yeah, by blowouts
That
and just
by blowouts
being
that make me
manhandled.
very little confident in achieving our goals of winning a Sunbelt East title and cementing a spot in the Sunbelt Championship game. That's where I'm at, Cody. So, like, yes, everything is still in front of us. And again, if we had beaten Fresno, or even if we had lost close and it was just like a freak, it's first game, whatever, 100-degree heat, road trip, blah, 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 all the stuff you said, like, okay, fine. Then it's a 42-21 loss to USC. I'd be like, we'd be having a very different conversation.
Mhm.
We would, but no, we didn't. We gave up 130 whatever points in 2 games. We gave up 1,200 yards, 1,300 yards in 2 games. Like, it's not looking good. Yes, things can turn around, but it's not looking good.
There we go. All
There
right.
you go. I don't think there's much more to say.
No. So I think we know what the main things, what storylines for the game. It's gonna be
Try your best to stop the run. You're not going to stop it. Slow it down. Slow down the run like as much as you can. Stack the box. Make them pass on you. I mean, literally eight guys in the box, Cody. That's what I would do. 8 guys in the box and like make them pass. And if they burn you, they burn you.
Yeah, I would hope that with our talent at corner that doesn't happen. But yeah, I mean, it's just we've got to do something different. We got to change it up. Something's got to change in terms of how we're attacking and how this defense is being schemed. You can't completely overhaul it, right? But you got to do something.
Got to do something. And then offense, I don't think you have to completely overhaul it. I'm excited to see what the offense can do against the peer at home, but again, defense has to do them some favors. And like you said, keep it simple. Don't try to get cute with it.
Do you dare let Clay Helton call plays?
Yes, I absolutely would. I was talking to my dad, like, yes. Like,
If you're Clay Helton, do you take over play calling right now?
Right now, probably not. If he was a defensive coach, absolutely. Because Bailey doesn't have it. He doesn't. I'm sorry, he doesn't. But he's an offensive-minded coach. I think for the most part, again, 377 yards against USC. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's having a conversation with Applin of like, hey, the trick plays, let's cut that out. We don't need it. We shouldn't need it. Like, run the offense.
Yeah.
Pass if you want to pass, run if you want to run. I really don't care what the balance is, but like all this cutesy stuff, to go for 2 and that weird formation and all the stuff, like, no, none of that. Run our offense. We should have enough talent to beat Jacksonville State with our offense, point blank, period. If we're not, we are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. There we go.
There we go. That's it. So yeah, like, but yeah, I agree. On defense, literally try different stuff as much as you can. As much as you can. The system's a system, scheme, but like, yeah, blitz on every play. Like blitz on every play.
Just no holds abandoned, just all recklessness.
Just all reckless, and just, again, yeah, blitz on every play, but not over pursue, and then make them pass on you. And I don't think they're going to beat us passing.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. So, all right, Cutter. I guess
all
that's
right.
it.
There we go.
Hopefully we have more fun things to talk about in the next episode, and hopefully a win.
Hopefully a win, because we need it. If we want any chance of going bowling, we've got to get this as a win.
Yeah, I agree.
So
that's true. Yeah,
must win. To me, this is a must win game.
I think this is a must-win game. Obviously, Maine will be too, but
Yeah, Maine's if we lose to Maine, that's a whole different podcast episode that we're gonna have on that, because that is just unacceptable. We can't lose to Maine. Sorry,
no,
that's just can't have that happen.
Nope. Okay, Cody. Well, with that, as always, Hail Southern.
Hail Southern. You said it all depressing. As always, Hail Southern.
Man,